Abby Shepherd. The link's up.
It's kind of like my modeling name. Abby Envy was my modeling name, and I had to change it because stalkers are a thing when you're a model, and just a whole lot of hoopla.
I know. Paparazzi.
Usually I'm okay with paparazzi. I'm just not cool with people who aren't cool.
Yeah. I don't like uncool people at all.
I mean, I like people who are like nerdy. I don't like people who are unethical.
Yeah. Unethical is uncool. Nerdy is cool.
Especially these days.
These days, definitely.
You like what?
I like to read books.
Oh, I got too many books. I'm now an audiobook and webtoon person because physical books have taken up too much space in my home.
You got some physical books?
I have about 500 manga and over 60 comic books. I don't really count the regular books, but that's probably about 30 plus. Well, when you start off with not so many friends, books are your friends.
Yep. Okay, I'll pull out a book. The Dharma Bums.
Oh, I've never heard of that, but I have heard of the Dharma.
The Dharma.
I know the Dharma and the Vedas.
Your mind makes out
Buddhism.
the orange by seeing it, hearing it, touching it, smelling it, tasting it, thinking about it. But without this mind, you call it, the orange will not be seen or heard or smelled or tasted. Yeah, it's kind of like the Dharma Bums. They're like Buddhist bums from San Francisco and in the 1960s. Well, I guess.
Is they the author?
Yeah, Jack Kerouac.
Oh.
You heard of him?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
Cool.
In addition to being a model, I'm a psychology major. I'm also just a big literary enthusiast.
Wow. I'm actually psychology double minor right now. Yeah.
It's always good to have that knowledge.
Yeah, I love it. We could talk about psychology.
Oh, sure. I'm currently learning about communication techniques between humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking a communications course. I feel like being able to communicate with other people is a very important skill that everybody should have a little bit of knowledge under their belt about.
Oh, yeah. So, like interpersonal communication?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hard one for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I can talk to a lot of people easier than to one person.
I think I'm the opposite. Yeah. I think I can talk to one person at a time really well, but mass people, I would have to practice podcasting more or be a YouTuber, or I guess if you're like a status, like an influencer who types a lot, you kind of have to respond to multiple ones, but you could do that individually for each comment. So
yeah. What tarot card do you have on your shirt?
Oh, this one's the Lovers. I actually got it at a gas station.
Gas Station Lovers. I love that band.
Yeah, I was on my way to Hot Springs and I saw this shirt and I kind of just had to have it. And then everybody else around me was like, "Oh my God, that shirt's so awesome!" And I was like, "Really? Just a shirt from the gas station?" But
I have the Hermit, but I've never seen the Lovers. That's cool.
Yeah, I've got a hoodie with death on it, but
yeah,
it's a little bit of a simpler design than this one.
That's the only way that Death will wear a hoodie. Death only wears a hoodie.
You do be only wearing a hoodie.
Yeah. Right.
Well, did you have any questions for me? Or is this just like a chill and vibing podcast?
Well, I got a big question. I was just about to lay it on you.
Oh, lay it on me.
Yeah, okay. What's your interpretation of Freudian versus Jungian dream interpretations?
Oh, that's great. People always hate on me because I study a lot of Freud. I haven't studied Jung in a while, but I was revisiting some Jungian ideas. I think the main difference specifically dreams for both of them, not like general concepts.
Yeah, they both had different ideas of where dreams came from, what they represented, I think.
Well, I'm gonna preface before we get to them with like the scientific why we dream is basically your neurons are repairing themselves in your brain every night. So your regular information gets spaghettied into nonsense. That's what dreams actually are on just the plainest basis. But with Freud, who I'm probably at this point in time more familiar with than Carl Jung, he kind of says that, but not really. He says it's like exploring the subconscious, or rather like things that you can't consciously suppress come out naturally in Freud's concept. A lot of people have a problem with Freud because he brings up topics like you dream or you think about things that are not things you would typically dream about, or that are like unethical, or they don't really make sense. But at the same time, I feel like they do make sense because it's kind of like the pink elephant thing. Like, if you say the pink elephant, you're going to think about a pink elephant, even if they tell you not to think about a pink elephant. You know, it's good to think about the things you don't want to think about, I feel like. And I feel like that's where the Freudian concept just kind of gets a little misunderstood. It's like, yeah, it's a bad thing to think about, but sometimes you do think about it, and you're most susceptible to thinking about those things when you dream because you're not consciously able to suppress any ideas. And that goes back to your neurons are just rebuilding themselves. You physically cannot tell your neurons what to do.
Yeah, they're just automatic.
When you're awake, I mean, you can you shouldn't think of your teacher naked at school, so you don't.
Well,
but in your dreams.
I heard it's good if you want to pass the test.
Well, I mean, they do say that about stage fright too. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I can see that. I personally wouldn't, but
no.
None of my teachers are really hot models, in my opinion, but they're all great people.
I mean, I've never had stage fright, but I might have when I started out, but I've never used that technique, imagining people naked.
Me, I don't see how it helps. I was like, if this were a news show, then all the audience would be nude anyways, and I'd still be either as bad or as good as I already am.
I think that's a bunch of hooey, all that stuff.
But I don't know. I perform with my my boyfriend's band, Red Stinger, occasionally I sing on some of their tracks, and they always pull me on stage whether I expect it or not. And most of the time, I just roll with it. I'm like, they like it, they like it. They don't, that's fine.
You got some good intro music for this we could put on?
Yeah, Stone Throwers is our new release that we just dropped. It's very lyrical, though. I'm not sure. You know, if you're going to use it as an intro, yeah, I think Stone Throwers would be the best one. It's on Spotify. You just look up Red Stinger.
We write our music for the people who jump in front. You stone throwers in the back. Shut up. You think that anybody gives a fuck about your feelings? Then cast the first stone. Kingdom alone. Jump. I spent most of my life being told that I was wrong. The church, the Bible, the Holy Scripture, worship songs.
Great band, everybody. Please go give them a listen. We have a show on the 22nd of November at Herman's Hideaway. If you guys are in Colorado, please come by.
Hell yeah, I played at Herman's Hideaway too one time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I did a striptease at Herman's Hideaway once, and I was like, guys, wrong place, wrong time. Routine needs to be 18 plus.
I think of myself as an emotional stripper, as a musician, as an entertainer. Well, you know, I try to strip down to my emotional nakedness and when I'm performing.
Yeah, as you should. Otherwise, how are other people going to relate to your music?
Right.
Maybe some other weird way, but that's the most direct way.
Do you ever have stage fright?
You know, I do. Actually, I've done like a lot of runways as a model, and I've been on stage with Red Stinger. And I feel like it's kind of like I've never done skydiving, but maybe like roller coasters, you know, like where initially you're scared, but then once you're doing it, it's like really fun.
Exactly.
You know, it's like you just got to feel the butterflies for 2 seconds and then they're gone. You know, it's like the medicine tastes bad only when you're swallowing it and then you feel better.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you get past that, then you can't stop.
Right? Then it becomes like an addiction. You're like, oh, yeah, I want to be on the stage. So I usually stay as a backup dancer for the songs. I don't sing.
Okay.
But also, some of those guys are older. They need a little pizzazz standing next to them.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't sing?
Well, I do sing just occasionally. Timmy is the lead singer of Red Singer, so I can't upstage him. He's such a great guy, and he has such an awesome like stage presence. I just kind of sing. I have a song that I specifically sing called Stripper, or it's called Stripper Titty on a Pole, Stop. And then I have other songs where I like sing in the background or I kind of do the harmony. Like if you've been listening to my 12-year-old anime boy voice right now, this is not the voice of a beautiful singer.
You can't
I sing punk rock.
You never know. You never know. I mean, you wouldn't think I have the voice of, you know, Frank Sinatra, but I do.
Well, that's great.
You know, but I don't. You know, I don't toot my own horn or anything. I just do my thing.
That's as you should.
Yeah.
But yeah. Going back to the topic about dreams, I haven't studied Jung in a while. You want to give me like a brief concept of Jung's dream argument, just to refresh my memory?
Yeah, he's the one that says it's all connected, the subconscious, and we have these archetypes, you know, that everybody has in their mind. That becomes cultural awareness, that people share all these ideas, and dreams are more of the subconscious mind at work. And then there's a universal consciousness that we all share as well, collective consciousness.
Yeah, I do. I don't disagree with those concepts. I feel like the first one is still like the same concept that Freud just said in a more spiritual way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's true. Like your dreams are your subconscious. You know, like the last thing you were thinking about before you go to sleep usually is what you dream about. But like for me last night, I fell asleep watching a Resident Evil movie on Netflix, and I was having a dream about Resident Evil type scenarios.
You were?
Oh yeah, I don't remember them too much, but it's, you know, it's more like monsters in the water over a pier. Got to jump onto the boat at the last minute, or got to shoot the zombie, pow pow pow, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Jung thought everything was symbolism too.
Oh, the symbolism. I feel like I believe that too. I feel like symbolism is really important in dreams. I have a lot of dreams where like I have to pee, but the symbolism in that is I just need to wake up and go take a piss. You know, that's the symbol. It's a sign. Go to the bathroom. There are a lot of my dreams personally are like me running, like from first person. Like I don't know if people dream in third person or first person most of the time, but I dream in first person.
Yeah.
And all my dreams are in color. I'm not before the color spectrum of dreams that people seem to have, but yeah, I like have a lot of dreams where I'm like running really fast, and like things are going past me too swiftly. And after having that dream so many times, like in different scenarios, like one of those same dreams I was a rabbit, one of those same dreams I was like a Super Saiyan. They're all the same. It's just like moving fast from one place to another. And I think it was just like a stress response. You know, like that's a sign like things are going too fast. You need to slow down, just like out of
I heard
the subconscious.
If you run fast enough, you can start to fly.
I did fly in the Goku dream for sure, but the flight was just very fast. And when I was a rabbit, I was like running away from something, and like I was a rabbit on a skateboard ramp, and I like ran so high that I like caught air. Right. And you know how you like on the pirate ship, you kind of have that 0G feeling. I had that like in real life. I don't go on those rides for a reason. So.
Yep. They say if you can't teach a man to fly, teach him to fall faster.
Get it over with.
Maybe he'll catch some wind in his wings and he'll fly eventually, finally.
I like the fall faster concept is you won't have to feel sad about not being able to fly because you'll be dead.
I feel like if you fall faster, you'll finally fly. Because you need
Maybe.
that
I wouldn't want to
momentum.
fall faster.
Because you can't really fly unless you're moving fast. Otherwise, you stall.
I guess that's a good way to think about it. I've never thought about that personally. Especially if I were trying to fly, my first thought wouldn't be to fall faster. It would be like Buzz Lightyear, like fall with style.
Hell yeah.
You know?
That would be awesome. How did you get into modeling?
Somebody just asked me one day, just straight up, like 10 years ago. I was just, I don't know. I'd always done like that scene site modeling stuff back in the day where it's like you take a selfie, then you post it and people be like, oh my God, I love your hair or something. And then a photographer was just like, hey, do you want to model? Like, doesn't cost anything. Just come to the studio. We'll do some stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure. As long as I can bring an escort, because never go into a situation unsafe.
Yep.
Never meet up with strangers without a plan or any of that stuff. Do not recommend it. And yeah, I guess I just it kind of clicked while I was doing it. Like I felt really great. Felt like I was a natural at it. Person who was the photographer, they're a really good photographer. You know, we had some like really great shots. Like my current profile picture on my Facebook page with the white hair and the ferret, that was like one of my first modeling shoots ever. And I was like, well, if they all turn out like that, I guess I should just do this, you know?
Awesome.
And I've been doing it for 10 years.
That seems to be the way everybody gets into it.
Probably. If I had to guess, anyways, most people I know who get into modeling either just really want to do it or it just happens upon them. I haven't seen a lot of in between. Or you're like me and I'm like, you could be a model. And then I pull them real close and I say, come on, let's go do some modeling. And then they tell me if they like it or not. I was also a modeling agent for a couple of years before COVID.
Okay. How did COVID affect you?
Can't really do runways or like in studio photo shoots. And if you're outside, you would have to wear masks. So it's just really inconvenient. And people were just getting COVID all the time. That like between being sick and scheduling issues and just the general world at the time being really fucked up, like it just wasn't really happening. Everything was expensive.
Yeah. That was a bummer. So you think we come back so far? We're ready? We're making a comeback? 2023?
COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to take a long time for it to like be completely normalized. Like I think it's just something we're going to have to live with now. And then people are going to have to adjust accordingly. Like jobs are going to have to keep their sick time, I guess, in a way that takes COVID into consideration. Because once businesses are like, oh, COVID's over, they're like, okay, well, if you get COVID, it's just your regular sick days. It's not COVID sick days anymore. It's just your plain and simple sick days, which I feel like is not very helpful because COVID is the kind of sickness that lasts for like a week, whereas besides the flu, every other sickness is like 1 to 2 days, you know?
Yeah. We're just going to have to live with it. You're right. It's like this new thing.
But people are going to need to fucking wash their hands more.
Definitely. Happy birthday to yourself.
Yeah, right? Every time you wash your hands, happy birthday.
Yep. Even if it's not your birthday, it's somebody else's.
That's somebody's birthday. Somebody's born every day.
Exactly. And nobody dies except yesterday.
Yeah, hopefully not right now. That's for sure.
Who's your favorite author?
I really like Alice Hoffman, who wrote the Practical Magic books. She also wrote like what is it called? No, Suzume. I'll have to get back to on her current titles with Practical Magic, The Rules of Magic, and Faithfulness. I think is what it's called. Faithful. But my favorite author of all time is actually a manga author, and her name is Arina Tenemura, which is where I get the Arina from.
Mm.
And she wrote The Gentleman's Alliance Cross, Ion, a lot of really great titles. People in Japan probably know what I'm talking about. People in America are probably like, what the fuck are you even saying? But or the real OG weeaboos, they're going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is big in Japan. Big in Japan. It's huge.
A lot of things I'm reading right now are from Korea. I read, like, Korea is like the big thing right now. Like, I eat a lot of Korean barbecue, eat a lot of kimchi, I read a lot of webtoons. I don't listen to a lot of K-pop, but I have a lot of friends who listen to K-pop, so kind of like the big thing right now.
Yeah.
Slowly taking over like the anime scene.
Yeah, and you speak Korean too.
Oh, I do not speak Korean, no.
Oh.
I don't speak a lick of Korean. I could tell you a couple words because I read a lot of Korean comics, but I don't speak Korean. I do not speak Japanese. I can sing some songs in Japanese because of, listening to them over and over again, but I could probably not have a conversation in either of those languages.
Anhangseo. That's all.
Ajobu.
I don't know.
Like tacos?
Yeah. I had some Korean barbecue taco from a dude.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
I've not had a Korean barbecue taco yet, but I probably should.
Yeah, you get into tacos, street tacos. It's okay. Like a few of my friends were into it, and I was like, I don't know about this stuff and being on the street and all, street tacos, but I got into it, and it's not bad. It's not.
I'm a big street taco person. I like street tacos. I think the most out of all the tacos, whether it's usually carne or shrimp tacos.
Yeah, I do octopus and cactus.
I've never had those kind of tacos.
You gotta try it.
I would though, because I love octopus. It's my favorite sushi.
Really?
Yeah, like octopus nigiri, like just the octopus on the rice, all day. I could eat about 4 of those at a time.
I have to eat octopus cocktail when I ever go to Mexico.
Ooh, I don't know what that is. Cocktail like a drink?
Oh, no, it's like shrimp cocktail, but with octopus in it.
Oh, weird. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, I'm glad that we both like octopus on pizza.
Yeah, more people should try it. I would have octopus on pizza. I don't know if it would be good, but I would try it.
I like that about you. I posted a picture of octopus on cookies.
When you say cookies, I just think of the dispensary.
Yeah, like octopus pot cookies.
I mean, the weed would probably make it taste delicious because it's like eating ice cream and pizza, but in reality, I don't know that octopus would be great in cookies unless it was like a rice cookie.
Wow. I think we could do something with that.
Yeah, rice cookies.
Are you into advertising at all?
We do advertising all the time. I used to advertise for jewelry. Used to advertise for certain clothing companies. I advertise for Red Stinger all the time.
I just need your help come up with some funny ads for my podcast.
I would love to see like a phone app that's like a dog shit detector. That way, if people are walking around just looking on their phones, not paying attention, and like a little notification would be like, watch out, dog shit, 1 foot. Then people would look up from their phone like a normal human and be like, oh shit, there's some shit, and then walk around it.
You might be amazed, but this is being done as we speak already. Somebody else is doing it.
Well, how does the app know where the dog shit is? Is it just like always the camera's always on, and as you're walking up the street with your camera on, it's like, oh, there's the dog poop.
Right. They have the AI algorithm that can detect not only dog poop, but dog pooping. And it's been done so well that it's like 85% accuracy. At least it was. before they took it off the market. And now they do that when the big algorithms, buy it up and they're like, we're going to use this. Because for people that don't know, there's like an AI site where they have all the new AI ideas and you can kind of use them freely. A lot of them don't work, but
I can imagine.
That's where they
have a lot of them have 7 fingers.
Well, that's where they had the dog pooping AI. You could upload a picture of a dog pooping. It would tell you with 85% accuracy whether it was a dog pooping.
I feel like, in the grand scheme of things, you wouldn't need an AI to let you know if that was a dog pooping. Just, it'd be a funny app. Like, it'd be fun. Like, to show your friends. It'd be like, wow, like a cute, dumb thing. Yeah. But in the reality of it, I feel like if you don't know, then again, I don't know. I can't say, because I used to breed dogs. I used to work with dogs. I kind of just know about dogs. So if people don't know shit about dogs, they'd probably be like, oh my God, a small bear or a cat or a raccoon or a fox or a coyote. Although if you don't know dogs, I have a hard time imagining you would know other animals.
I have a cat. I have one.
Can you tell when your cat is pooping?
I try not to know, but I definitely can tell.
It's kind of like I'll do the fromage, like a little whiff.
He doesn't want me to watch.
Fun fact I learned in my biology class: you should wear gloves every time you change your cat's cat litter. Otherwise, you will get a disease.
Toxoplasmosis.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So you've got your gloves then. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, you got to have the gloves, because if you have toxoplasmosis, you'll be crazy cat lady.
Yeah, if you have a poor immune system, it'll fuck you up. If you have a high immune system, you're less likely, but it's better not to take the risk.
What it does is it makes people more inclined to like the smell of cat urine. But
I did not read that part.
It does that because it does that to mice. So mice infected with this will be more likely to be eaten by cats, which is why.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a very insidious thing. And that's people who have like 1,000 cats. They have this, and they can't get enough.
I don't want that.
No.
That just sounds like a terrible existence. I was like, I would want to know.
That's why I stopped with one cat.
There's only one cat in my house, but growing up, I had about 30.
Okay.
Yeah, cats just kept having kittens. I'm from the South, Sometimes you can't stop them. And then you have to go give away your kittens for free in the Walmart parking lot.
Exactly.
They don't have that out here in the city, though. You don't see people giving away free cats. It's always $500 for a kitten. And I'm just like, yo, brah, nah. Just go to Mississippi and help somebody out.
Oh, hell no. There's still stray cats in the neighborhood.
They're probably just somebody's cat that hates their collar and wants to be an outside cat, because I have adopted cats that were supposed to be strictly inside cats, and they will find a way outside. I don't care if you close all your windows, all your doors, whatever. The slight opportunity that a window is cracked and they can scratch a hole in some sort of mesh window protector, whatever, they will find a way. And I've had my cat stolen several times. I've had several cats stolen. That's why I don't have cats in the city anymore, because my neighbors will just be like, oh, this is a stray cat, and then take it in, when in reality it's not a stray cat. It's my cat. Lost cat flyers do work, though. Do not underestimate the power of lost cat flyers. They do work. A child walking home from school will be like, yo, my buddy Brandon, his mom has a cat that looks just like that, and it's brand new. And I'll be like, give me Brandon's number. That's how I found one of my cats one time. And then one of my neighbors, just right across the street where I live now, straight up was just like, took my cat. And when she was out and about across the street, I brought her back into my house because I paid $75 to adopt this cat. And my neighbor straight up come knocking on my door like, hey, we noticed that you got a Moore back, and we were just wondering if we could have her back. And I was like, you want to give me $200 for $75 adoption fee the 3 times I busted her out of the shelter? Yeah, you can have her. But you're not going to give me the money it took for me to take care of this cat, to take this cat off my hands? No. And I kept her, and then the moment she could get out the moment she could get out again. Like, I wasn't home. Somebody must have left the window open or something. They stole her again. Haven't seen her since. So I'm like, nope, I'm not adopting cats anymore. This was even an older cat. She wasn't even a kitten. She was just a gray cat. And they changed her name from Amore to Gracie. And I'm like, Gracie is not very original, but whatever. They have better cat food than me, Gracie. You can go live with them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm salty about it. So I'm like, no.
Yeah.
While I live in the city, I'm not having another cat. I'm not adopting another cat. I don't trust it.
Mm-hmm.
It's unethical.
I totally understand what you're talking about, because I had a cat. Same thing happened. I moved, and then the cat went missing. And then, like 6 months later, somebody I was talking to, I just happened to meet. They're like, "Oh, my friend has this cat. You said your cat was missing, but the way you described it reminds me of my friend's cat," and it was totally the same cat. And it went back to my old house, and it had like one of the neighbors there had been staying with some time, and it went moonlighting me.
That probably just was used to going back to your old place and went there, and someone's like, "Oh my God, stray cat." Yoink.
But she had
really, they should take it to the shelter.
She had actually been taking care of the cat for about as long as I had, because it was a stray cat before, and we both kind of took it in. We didn't realize that it would go back and forth across the street.
Oh, yeah.
And like around the corner. And so we realized that. We're like, whoa, I guess we got to share the cat.
At least you decided on sharing the cat.
Yeah. Luckily, she's really like good friends with me. And it all worked out.
Not everybody's that lucky.
We got a tracking collar, and like every couple months it would go.
Well, I had microchips on all my cats. Didn't stop people from stealing it.
Could you track them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, next door?
Yeah. No, not next door. I had like, this was a couple of years ago, whatever, that microchip company, like the app that came with the microchip that the vet put into the animal. But more trouble than it's worth, honestly. Like, the cat that wants to be with you will be with you. If the cat doesn't want to be with you, I don't think there's ways to force it or train it unless you live in an apartment by yourself and have complete control over that cat's autonomy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you need one cat. You develop a good relationship with it. Hopefully it's like a marriage, but it's just a cat.
Just a kid, and life is a nightmare.
So are you more of a dog person?
Well, I like cats and dogs equally, but I am a dog person. I have 2 dogs. I have a Samoyed, a Mexican hairless. Worked at a doggy daycare for 3 years. I bred huskies. I had cats first, though. Like, I've had in the South, when you have no neighbors and you just have barn cats and outside cats, like, you don't have a problem. You know, ain't nobody trying to steal a cat. Everybody got a cat. But I'm just a bit salty about the city and the cats. But I would say I like cats and dogs equally. I had a bearded dragon and an iguana and 3 snakes at one point and 2 ferrets. So I feel like I'm just an animal person. I don't have like a bias.
You're a biologist.
I'm a psychologist, actually, and a model. I'm not a biologist.
But you could be. Like with all
I don't know. I
animals.
mean, I'm a farmer, sure. A biologist, well, back up the brakes. I'm in biology right now, and learning about that stuff's
is that tough or what?
Tasky.
Is the cellular structure? Is the cellular structure hard?
No, I mean, mitochondria powerhouses sell all that jazz, but like cancer and electrons and like evolution and all sorts of stuff goes into biology that I don't have time if I'm going to be a psychologist to learn about all that stuff. I'll leave that to the biologists. They can cure cancer and help my GERD and make their own yogurt.
But as a psychologist, what is your interpretation of the fact that the mitochondria is really, it could be just like an ancient bacteria that got into the humans?
I mean, everything kind of stems from bacteria. Like if you look at the tree, the tree of the kingdom of life, like protists and eukarya and prokarya, there is a theory that the mitochondria was its own single cellular organism and decided to cohabitate with a bacteria to do like kind of a symbiotic relationship, and then it goes from there. So that's not an opinion. That's just scientific fact, like.
Yes. But what does that mean? Is it like midichlorians, like the Jedi? It's like we have this living energy inside of us that's not really part of us as humans, but it gives us our humanity.
I think that's just the soul. If you believe in soul, other than that, it's probably just more than a feeling.
Yeah.
To quote that song, I don't know too much about Star Wars. I mean, I've just recently caught up on all of them, but I'm not a Star Wars aficionado by any means.
It's just the idea that they have, like the Jedis have this living being inside of them, which is microscopic, and that's what comes.
Oh yeah, it's like in the blood or something.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, well, we have the energy.
If we formed a symbiotic relationship with a microorganism, that could do that for us, potentially. But at this point in time, I don't think we've discovered an organism anywhere close to that. All organisms that enter our body either help us out, like gut bacteria, or they inhibit us, like giving us the flu.
So you don't think the mitochondria could be like a midichlorian?
I don't think so. No, the mitochondria just sends signals, receives signals. Like it makes energy for the cells.
Yeah.
Midichlorian would be like if your mitochondria made so much energy that you just had to fucking Darth Vader it out somehow.
You had to pick up a rock once in a while.
You'd have to be on some mad, weird steroids for that to be a plausible theory, I feel like, in my personal opinion.
Okay. Well, I mean, we didn't necessarily figure out, how to save the world, but we came close, I think.
Sure. Yeah, if Jedi powers are real, actually, that might destroy the world, to be honest. I mean, I've seen what Anakin did. I know.
As soon as you understand what you need to save the world, you know how you can destroy it. It's just up to you whether you want to save it or destroy it.
Well, like, if we really wanted to save the world, we would solve world hunger or be able to solve conflicts like the Palestine-Jerusalem conflict or the Ukraine-Russian conflict, to where people could stop dying for no reason or for others' purposes that have nothing to really do with them personally.
Yep.
I feel like that would save the world.
Yeah. I think that if we can all get together to talk about it, that might be a start too.
Right. Well, you got to inform other people. You got to be open to communication. You got to be open-minded. Like I personally was attending a seminar just the other day about Jerusalem and Palestine, like dating all the way back to religion, like the religious story of Isaac or the other son being sacrificed in the tests of faith by, I keep forgetting his name, the guy, Abraham from religion.
Yeah.
And so when I was listening to that, I was like, so this basically stems from the conflict I see in a lot of things I read about, where it's like, okay, first son, illegitimate, versus second son, who is the first legitimate son. Like, who has claim to the throne? That's basically this conflict. Well, it's not this conflict, but it's a big part of this conflict is between like regular Judaism and Muslims. Is they're like, this guy was in this place versus your religion, that guy was in that place, and we don't believe that guy was real, so we lay claim to this land. Whereas the other party is like, well, we think our guy was real and it also happened here, so we have claim to this land. When I feel like in reality they both have claim to the land and they should just diplomatically figure it out. But I don't have the same beliefs as other people do, and those people definitely don't have the same beliefs as me.
Yeah.
So I can't speak to that.
And then you got the Christians who has always been trying to like claim it's their land and they want to go fight about it, but they finally gave up, I hope.
What? they're all Abrahamic religions, and I feel like even though like they all have the same first chapter, but they all have different endings, and it's just a matter of like, you know, like I guess people who prefer the director's cut of Lord of the Rings versus like the regular cut of the Lord of the Rings. You know, it's like, oh, this one's better, but who's to say what's better or not? Why don't you just share?
I heard they've been fighting too. Those two groups of people. We need to get to the bottom of that.
The Lord of the Ring people.
Yeah, the director's cut, and then there's another.
I've never
one.
seen the director's cut, but I don't know that I could sit through it to get to it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I saw it once, and that's good enough for me. I saw the regular one. I don't want to see it's too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
Yeah.
It was amazing talking to you.
Yeah, it's amazing talking to you too. Thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing up some very fun topics. I always love thought experiments.
Okay, good. We're just trying to think about it sometimes.
Yeah. Anybody watching this? I'm Abby Envy. You can find me, Abby Envy, on Facebook. Abby Envy Kitty on Instagram. Very Googleable, ABBEY, or Arina Envy for my personals. Please go look at Red Stinger on Spotify. We've got Stone Throwers out right now. The Truth is one of the best tracks we've ever written. If you want to see me live, come to Lost Lake on the 22nd. I'll be there with the boys, and we'll have a good time. After party at 97.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Next time.
We'll put it all together, make it shine.
Hell yeah. Send me the links.
All right. Hi, 10. Oh, I got one more question.
Yeah.
We need some advice for Salida.
Like the place, Salida?
Yeah, like the town, the whole town, they need a word of advice.
All right. What's Salida need? What can I do for you, Salida?
Well, what would you give us as a word of advice to everybody? Like one final word of advice.
My final word of advice would be to keep yourself informed. Don't have information bias. Get your information from several different sources. Make sure that you don't have confirmation bias over just one thing you think. Get others' opinions, go to other resources. Just always keep your mind open to something being different than what you think it is, because anything can happen, literally.
Thank you.
And stay cool. Yeah.
Stay cool. Abby Shepherd, staying cool.
Staying cool.
All right. We'll see you later.